Good podcast.
Hey, ladies and gents, this is Brianna Javon with What's Good Podcast Season 2. As you guys know, we are doing Black Love Running Black Businesses, and today I have another couple. I have Lashundra and Jay. How are y'all today?
We're good.
That's so good. All right, and so other than that, as you guys know, I don't do interviews. Instead, I do genuine conversations. So let's get into it. If you guys been listening, I mean, we almost 2 seasons in to be complete. I always do icebreakers, and this is just to settle the mood. Some people get nervous. Some people are like, "Oh, Kareem, what's going on?" And so for you, Jay, yours is, where is the last place you'd be caught dead?
Probably haunted house.
Yeah.
Really? You don't like haunted houses?
Oh no.
You're like, no, I ain't having it.
No. His saying is, why should he pay someone to scare you? Him.
That's logic. That's logic. When you think about it like that, do you like Halloween, period?
No.
I feel like it's not for me. Okay, how about you, Lashundra? Would you rather have a rewind button or a pause button on your life?
I would definitely say pause.
Really? Okay, why is that?
Because I don't really want to look back. I mean,
Okay.
I appreciate, and I also don't want to rewind because I feel like I learned a lot from those experiences already. So why rewind? I honestly feel like since I hit 40 and 41 this year, life has been amazing. Like, my mindset is so much better. I'm in love with myself so much more. So if I had to pause, I would pause right here.
Wow, and then y'all just got back from Jamaica too, right?
Yes.
So I'll be pausing too. Let's go back. So good. Okay, and so now we're gonna get into our genuine conversation. So go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Okay, you want to go first, Jay? No.
Jay.
Y'all, this
Serious
is what y'all
face
get. This is what y'all get. Oh, Jay. Okay, so that's Jay. I'm Lashundra. I am, I guess, a lot of things right now. I'm an author, speaker, creator of Women with Balance, which is a faith-based community that I use to minister to women to help them in all kinds of things, healing, lifestyle. I've just been blessed. I used to think cursed, but blessed to have experienced any and everything you could possibly think of. And so it's positioned me to be able to speak to any woman in any area of her life and use God's word to kind of help her through it and transition through the process. So that's pretty much what I am, and just released a podcast myself.
Yes, congrats.
Thank you. Called Balance Her. It's Balance, no E, Her. And weekly, I just do the same thing, have the conversations, either just me speaking from my experiences, or I have a guest on that we conversate about things that they've experienced and how God's word has helped their life. So that's me in a nutshell. What Jay is not telling you guys is that he's the behind the scenes man. He loves to be behind the scenes. He's my electronic guy. Like, hey, this is not working. He's going to get it fixed. I need equipment. Okay, what you need? He's just going to get it. Tell me what you need. He learns how to be a photographer because of what I was doing.
Beautiful.
And ended up loving it, y'all. He's actually really, really good at it, which is crazy because he never had any intentions. He hated taking pictures. He's that guy. Everybody, y'all know, y'all had a husband like, oh, you want to take another picture? Y'all don't want to take no other picture. But we found out that he just doesn't like taking it with the phone, but he enjoys the equipment of the camera.
Nice.
So that's how he helps me. And when I was on tour and on the road, he's the setup guy, cleanup crew, what you missing, I'll go get it. Like, the support that you need, I feel, in a marriage when you're trying to fulfill vision, and I do the same for him.
Beautiful. Now, Jay, did you do like self-taught photography, or did you take some classes?
No, online, just YouTube.
Nice. Okay. And so, how did you guys meet each other?
You gonna tell that story? You don't want to tell it? Y'all. funny because we actually met on the chat line. Y'all,
Shut up.
yes, y'all remember? What was that? Was it Quest? I don't remember. Maybe because it was a long time ago. Because we've been married we'll be married 15 years in March.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Look at you, got all these things going on.
And so we met on the chat line. My sister had married her husband from that same chat line.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, you should get on the chat line. And at that point in my life, it's funny because I really wasn't looking for anything. I had been through so many different things that I was like, I'm gonna just get on here and have fun. This ain't gonna pan out to nothing. That's literally my thought process. He gets on and we talked for probably a good 2 weeks straight, just on the phone, couldn't get off the phone, just really fell in love with each other's personalities. And then we met actually on Valentine's Day. That was the day we actually physically met and saw each other. And we were married by March the 30th.
Wait a minute. Like the following year or that next month?
The next month.
Shut up. Like, how did that work? I mean, was it just the vibe that you felt from her? Like, I know this is going to be my wife. Like, what type of vibe did you feel? I'm going to get something out of you.
She was just real nice and caring.
Okay. Wow. And what made you say yes so early? That's so like...
Because he was the same. Like, it was just... I don't know. It's definitely, I believe, discernment kicked in because on both our parts, because we were just a good fit for each other, just automatically. And our backgrounds, we both had had backgrounds that other people would have frowned upon, but we understood each other and we knew that we wanted to still build something. And just who he was as a person, like even in that short period of time, it doesn't seem long to you all, but for somebody who was out there dating and every man you talk to, they trying to spend a night, when can they get it, all of that. And to meet somebody like him that was like driving 45 minutes to an hour to come see me and telling me, no, I'm not spending the night. That was...
And drive home
the same night.
No complaints?
No complaints.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's good.
So it was like, this is different. And I could tell he was raised by a good family, that he was a man. Like he didn't come to play.
Right.
And so I could tell the difference. And I think that that's something we can give to those listening is like, just pay attention. It's really not about what they say. It has everything in what they do. Just if you just look at what they do, their mannerisms, their behaviors, when they tell you something, do they really follow through? You can learn a lot about a man initially really quickly. And whatever you see up front, that's usually what you're going to get.
Now, with the dating, well, the first half of the dating, the real fresh part, did you guys end up just asking each other a lot of questions to get to know each other or just spend a lot of time?
It was both.
Both?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, it was like every day, every other day?
Yeah.
Every day.
We were like inseparable from like the first time we talked.
Wow. And so I know families, well, I know my family, they nosy. They're like, y'all gonna get married so quick? Did y'all have any friends or family that was in y'all head? Like, how did you guys like, let me cut them off because I know this is what I want?
We just did it. I mean, I guess we were just that sure.
Like, did you have any homeboys you talk to like, yo, this is the one? Did they encourage you or just try to take you away?
Well, I'm not from here, so at that time I really didn't have no homeboys.
Gosh.
I really only hang with my family. But I mean, there's a few people I went to school with, but they don't live here, so.
Okay.
I didn't have that. I didn't talk to nobody on the phone or nothing then, so.
Got it. How about you? Did you have any of your friends? Girl, don't do this so quick.
Actually, what's so crazy about it, when I think about it, my friends just as crazy as me. Cause they really wasn't tripping. Actually, they were like, I think it's because they knew what I had been through, and their reaction to me wasn't ever like, you don't need to do this. It was really like shock, like, where did he even come from? But what was so crazy and what I will tell you guys, and I'm not saying this works every time, but I'm just telling you what really truly happened to me. that same year, the year before, I had been working on myself and, had gotten a relationship with Christ and started to love myself and understanding that I was worth more. And that first of the year, I was sitting in my beautician's chair and I said, I'm getting married this year. And my best friend was there at the time. My beautician was like, girl, you don't even have no boyfriend. Like, what do you mean? I was like, it's just something telling me this year he's coming. And I had wrote down what I wanted. I had prayed over it, and I literally just didn't think nothing else about it. And then, like, the next month I meet him. The month after that, I'm married. And to this day, my beautician and their best friend is like, yo, nobody will believe us to this day that really happened.
That's wow.
Yes.
I mean, okay, so going back, we were at a conference. What was that? December? The Millennial Conference?
Yes.
November? Okay. You had mentioned if I pray and ask God for something, it's going to get answered. Do you think that's when you got the confirmation?
I do. That's when it started.
Wow.
And even then, it didn't sink in. It honestly, I would say this past year was when it really hit, when what I prayed for my sister.
Okay.
And she came back with the apology. And that's when it really triggered to me all of the times that I prayed in authority and left it alone.
Right.
I feel like that's the key. Some of the things that I feel like the Lord has an answer for me is because I worry about it. When I can get to a point where I really be like, okay, you know what, your will, God, done with it.
Right.
It usually manifests. I'm serious. If it does not manifest, it's because I did not need it. And I can always look back and be like, yo, I thank you. I see why I didn't get that.
So good. So I know you're on your spiritual walk. How about you? Were you always in the spirit? Were you always with God, being religious, being spiritual? Yeah. Always?
I was kind of raised like that, but I didn't really, tap into it myself till probably like 23, 24, something like that. But I don't have those gifts like she got those.
Do you feel like she has made you, become more stronger in your faith?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How would you say so?
I mean, I seen her go through a lot, and just kind of seeing her faith in the situation made my faith stronger. Watching stuff happen in her life.
That's beautiful. Okay, and so I want to talk about women in balance.
Women with
balance. When we first met each other at Jeanette's, it was like a round table. We was learning about Instagram and things of that nature. You poured out your heart to us, and we were all strange. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is so beautiful. Like we were all just talking about different things. And I noticed that's you on a regular. Like you pour your heart out to everybody. Like your whole Instagram audience knows your life. Why? Like how much did that take for you to be vulnerable with everybody? Because I know for me, like I try not to do too much, but now I'm like, you know what? Your story is your story, Bree.
Right. So
what made you take your step to be that vulnerable and transparent about your life with others?
To be honest with you, that has to be just the anointing of God, because a lot of times I don't be wanting to tell y'all nothing. I'll be honest, I'm like, really, you want me to share this?
Right.
But after seeing how much it's helping other people and how much people can relate,
right,
and not only the healing that it gives me when I tell my story, and be comfortable with who I am and the things that I go through. And I feel I've really learned how to still keep parts of myself from you all that I don't have to share.
Right.
So I think that's balance. It's balance enough that you believe that you know all of me, but you really don't. And I think that's the key that you have to learn. Like, I can share this, but let me not share this. So like, if people look at my page, they'll notice I don't share my kids a lot.
Right.
I do that for a reason, because for one, I feel like it's their lives to share. They don't need to be, I don't want to use them as a way to build women with balance. And two, just protection, because I just feel like people don't need to have access to my kids like that.
That makes sense.
that's just the way I feel. So if you're on my Facebook, you'll see them a little more, but just from experiences, I just have chose not to do that, and they don't even post like that on their own social media. So it's like, why would I be posting y'all crazy? And they're just not. My kids are kind of different in that aspect. They're not into it like that. They'll get on there, but they're not like, oh, I gotta post every 5 minutes. They just, I'm over here doing something else. So I try to respect that about them and just share pieces, you know, family gatherings that I feel like, yeah, this is beneficial, but in protection of them, their privacy, I just feel like everybody doesn't need to have access to them.
I like it. And so I do notice on the other end, you mentioned you don't show the kids as often, but you guys have beautiful photos together. Why do you want to show that part so much?
Because of course he's okay with it. You know what I mean? Like, he's fine with it. And I just think that's kind of maybe the difference that some people need to see. We always see the good motherhood side of it. Like, I mean, and I don't feel like I have to prove to you all who I am as a mother. I need to prove that to my kids. But I felt like with me speaking to women specifically, they want to see that there are happily married Black couples.
Yes, that's the whole reason for this series. Yes, for real.
And I think that's the key. If I speak to my kids and they're like, yeah, I'm more comfortable with you sharing more, then I will. But he, like I said, he's an adult. He's like, whatever you want to do.
And Jay, you seem so laid back. How were you able to agree, let's do this social media stuff, let's do the photography, let's do the whole business thing? How were you able to agree with that and join?
I just do photography. I don't really do, so I let her do the social media. I don't really, I do it sometimes, but not, I don't really have time. You know,
Gotcha.
I'm kind of really busy, but it don't really bother me at all. I see how it helps people, and I don't have a problem posting pictures on that, but
That's good. Okay. And so I wanted to ask you, with your events, with the books, what made you want to spread out your brand? So like you mentioned, you got a podcast, you're doing motivational speaking, you have like a whole thing. What made you not only be a brand, but also have these other enterprises to go with your brand?
Because I feel like they just all just went together. Just like I am in the process of launching Guide and Travel, which will be a travel agency as well, to do retreats, and because I want to curate retreats for different groups or especially couples. And to me, it all goes with Women with Balance.
Right.
It all coincides with it. Eventually, I'm working on my daughter to do some things for teenagers, that me and her work on. So I just think that it's showing women that you can be well-rounded. You can be successful. You just have to balance it all out. And that's pretty much what I try to do. I try to make sure I still have time for my family. I spend time with them, and we have our activities, and then I have my time where I do my Women with Balance stuff and still go to work. Like, I just feel like it's a balance game, and you just do the best you can do with what you have at that moment. And then whatever I can't, I just push it to the next day and be okay with that. I think that's where the balance comes in at, because I used to be like, it has to be done right now. And I'm really thankful that I'm in a different position to where it's like, okay, I'm gonna do what I need to do today, but whatever I can't do today, I can put it off for tomorrow, and it still ends up okay, y'all. It still ends up okay.
Right.
So.
And would you say that was your inspiration to create it?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds, because you kind of broke it up to, the women, and this is what I do for the balance. Do you think that was the inspiration of coming together? Okay, all right. And so, as far as the marriage, was it, I always ask this on every conversation, trust given or was trust earned?
I just gave her trust. I didn't see no reason not to just give her trust, because we had a lot of conversations and stuff about what we wanted, and I just I always give a person a chance to prove themselves.
I think the same thing. Trust was just no. I'm gonna say earned on my end.
Okay.
As I think about it, because for me, as a woman who had been through some things, what he was saying was not enough.
Okay.
But his actions made me feel like, okay, I can trust you. So I do feel like he earned it because of certain things he did during that period that I saw. Like I just said earlier, you go home, you're not interested in spending the night. You know, he was respectful of me saying, okay, I don't want you to meet the kids right now. Like, you know, but still asking me questions about them so he could understand and know them specifically when he did meet them. The interest in them. Like, those were the things that I saw. So I would say earned.
Okay. And so, I'm going to say for my generation, when they hear that another woman has kids, they try to run, right? What made you want to get to know her kids? You know, this is the woman I want to be with. I need to know you, not only you, but your whole family. What made you want to take that extra step to put that extra effort in there?
I just like kids.
Really? Do you have kids on your own?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got one together.
One together. But he doesn't have any other kids.
No,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I just like kids. I always have.
Good.
So it's kind of easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, was your kids, as far as not biological with him, were receptive to the relationship? Were they like, I like him, Mom?
Well, they were really young. I mean, because we've been, like I said, we've been married 15 years.
Gotcha.
So the baby is ours together, and then my son right before her, he was only like 2. So that's
Really?
his daddy. Like, you know, there's no differential. That's his daddy.
Right.
And then the older 2 were like 8 and 9. My oldest son, who's about to be 25, he actually has Down syndrome. And as you know, their personalities, they're just absolutely loving people. So they don't really meet strangers, or you know, as long as you're nice to them, they good.
Right.
So he have a problem. Our problem child was my oldest daughter.
Okay.
She was not as receptive, and that's because she had a relationship with her father.
Gotcha.
And so you know they don't want to feel like I'm pushing this daddy off for this daddy. But that lasted for a good 5 minutes and it was over with. Like we didn't really have a lot of problems blending.
So what advice would you give to a family that's blended and still having trouble with the kids accepting it, or the mother or father like, man, they're not liking me, should we even do this? Like, what type of advice would you give that family?
I feel like honestly timing is of essence, like the ages. I don't know how much you can do if you're coming in on a teenage situation.
Gotcha.
You know, other than just respect the fact that your relationship may take time to develop. In all of the situations, that's what you're gonna have to do. It may not happen right then.
Right.
It may take some time. Especially, I feel like at the age they are, that's how long it's gonna take. I'll say it like that. So if they're young, you good. But as you get to anything over 10, I feel like you might have a little bit of a struggle. But I think the main thing is, if depending on who it is, well, it doesn't even matter if it's the woman coming in or the man coming in, show the kids trust. That's when trust is earned, because you are interfering in their life. They don't know you. They don't know what you're gonna do to my mom or my dad.
Right.
So, and that was really my daughter, because I didn't know until recently how much she remembered at that age of 8, and how much she had witnessed me go through. So her distrust for him initially wasn't just about like, you did something. It was based on, I'm 8 and I've seen men do bad things to my mom. So I don't know what you here for. You know, so think like that with your kids. They're also protective of you because they love you. So I think that if you show them, and if the man or woman is willing to invest the time, it's going to work out. But they're just gonna have to be willing to say, okay, they don't like me right now, but I'm just gonna I'm here.
Yes. I like it. Okay. And so I know you have merch, because I have a shirt and I love my shirt. What made you come up with this concept for your merch? Well, let's talk about it first. Just for people who can't see it.
Okay. So I kind of was, with this one, I was just thinking about the fact that we as women, especially black women, aren't often celebrated as being bosses. And I wanted to give us something, hey, like just a way to just celebrate me. I am a brown girl boss. And then the other t-shirts were, again, just kind of like affirmations of what I believe God says about us. Like pretty girl with a purpose, things like that. Like you don't have to be just because you're beautiful doesn't mean you're dumb and you don't have any kind of direction. Because a lot of times you can get that, that stereotype. And especially, women these days, we can be like everything.
Yeah.
For real. Like we beautiful, we smart, whatever you can give us, we can pretty much handle it if we put our mind to it. So that was kind of the inspiration behind some of the products. And to be honest, and I even shared this on my own podcast, when I started initially, I didn't really have an idea of what I thought God wanted me to do with Women with Balance. I just knew I was supposed to be doing it. And sometimes you really do just need to take that first step and just, okay, I'm just put myself out here and kind of just navigate my way through. And that's kind of how the merchandise came. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not the t-shirt, hoodie crazy person, but it was a way to get out there and get started to kind of start branding myself and what I wanted it to be about, until I got to a place where I'm like, okay, I really feel like the podcast is what I should be doing. Let me really focus on that. So I'm not as merch crazy as I was at first. Initially, he will tell you every day, like, I designed a new t-shirt. I designed another shirt. Like, girl, stop. That wasn't his plan for me. I feel like my plan is to speak into people's lives. And that's what I need to focus on. The merchandise, the products, whatever, that'll come later on. But right now, I just need to focus on using the gift that he's given me. And that's speaking to people.
Nice. Okay. And so, with the events I know that I've been to, you was actually the photographer, right? So with the gigs that you guys get, how do you guys get those gigs as far as photography or speaking engagements? How do you guys get those type of gigs?
People kind of just reach out when they do want us to do stuff. Like it just kind of just falls in our lap sometimes. One time it was someone canceled and the person's talking to me about it. I'm like, oh, by the way, my husband's, photographer. Oh, that's who be taking your pictures? Yeah. Oh, okay. So it kind of just happens like that. So, and sometimes people just reach out through social media. Hey, would y'all be interested in doing this? So I just think once you put yourself out there, people will just start coming to you.
And so when you say put yourself out there, do you put yourself out there as specifically a motivational speaker? What type of brand do you put yourself out there for people to reach out? I want those services.
I offer on a page and even on my Instagram, under the founder information, I highlight the things that I feel like they will be beneficial for me. So not just motivational speaking, like I literally say on there, spiritual, I speak on ABC. Business though, I speak on ABC. So if you notice, like this year I have an event, it's not faith-based at all, it's like a wellness event. But they reached out because I can still speak on branding and strategy and social media and the self-care. So I think that's the beauty of me having Women with Balance, is that I can get to juggle a lot of different things and show the different gifts that I have in different areas. Because a lot of the things that I learned